Assalamu alaikum readers! Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to the second episode of Raising Readers. I hope you enjoyed watching the first episode of Raising Readers, and in the previous video I have asked you one question, and the answer of that question is the whispers of shaitan. The whispers of the shaitan were inside Jamal's head, which made him act in a very bad way with his family members. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Now, for this episode, we will be reading Jamal's Jam. Jamal's Jam by Uthman Hutchinson. Jamal came home from school one day. He was hungry. Assalamu alaikum, mother, he said. Peace be on you. Wa alaikum salam, said his mother. On you be peace. How was school? It was okay, said Jamal. Can I have a snack? Yes, said his mother. What do you want? Just then the telephone rang. Jamal's mother picked up the phone. She talked and talked. What do I want? Said Jamal. Just then Jamal's big brother, Muhammad, came into the room. I'm having a snack, he said. Can you give me a snack too? Asked Jamal. Yes, said Muhammad. What do you want? I'm having bread and butter and milk. Good, said Jamal. I want that too. I also want jam. Muhammad got out all the food and put it on the table. He looked and he looked, but there was no jam. Just then, Jamal's sister, Fatima, came into the room. I want a snack too, she said. Then she sat down at the table. We are having bread and butter and milk, said Muhammad. Jam too, said Jamal. There is no jam, said Muhammad. I want jam, said Jamal. Muhammad shook his head. Bread and butter and milk are okay with me, said Fatima. Muhammad took 3 pieces of bread and put butter on them. Then he got 3 glasses and filled them with milk. He put the bread and the milk on the table and sat down. He and Fatma said, Bismillah, and started to eat. Jamal did not eat. He only wanted to eat jam. Jamal's mother hung up the phone and put away the bread and milk. Please do your homework after you eat, she said. Muhammad ate his food and drank his milk and left. Fatima ate her food and drank her milk and left. Jamal did not eat his food and he did not drink his milk. He looked at his food with a frown. I want jam, he said. Jamal's mother looked at Jamal and smiled. We just don't have any jam, she said. I know you like jam, but we do not have any. Say Bismillah and eat your food. I know where there is jam, said Jamal. Oh, said Jamal's mother. That jam is not for you. That jam is for Grandma when she comes to visit. I made that jam as a gift. That is the last jar. That jam is only for her. She put her hand on Jamal's head. Now say Bismillah and eat. I am going upstairs. Jamal sat and looked at his food. He did not want to eat it. He wanted jam, but the jam was for Grandma. Jamal just sat and looked at his food. It did not look good to him. Jamal was thinking, Grandma will not mind. When she comes, she shares her jam. She will not care. I will only take a little and no one will know. Do you think Jamal is going to eat the jam? And do you think his mom is gonna notice? Well, let's find that out. Jamal looked at the place where the jam was. He was thinking again. I should not steal. Still, I don't think it is stealing. I will only take a little bit and no one will ever know. Jamal got up from his chair. He took the chair and put it next to the stove. Then he stood on the chair and took down the jam. When Jamal did that, he felt bad. Never mind, he said. No one will know. Jamal opened the jar and dipped his finger inside. He put his finger in his mouth. That was good. Now Jamal felt fine. He took a knife and put the jam on his bread. Jamal loved jam. He forgot to take only a little. Jamal looked at the bread. Jamal looked at the jar. I took too much, he said. Jamal took some jam from the bread with the knife. He tried to put it back in the jar. Now there was butter in the jar. Now there was jam on his hands too. There was even jam on the side of the jar and on the table too. Do you think Jamal's gonna get in trouble? Will his mom know? Let's figure that out. Jamal, what you have done? Jamal's mother stood in the door looking at Jamal. Jamal looked at his hands and he looked at the jar of jam and he started to cry. You naughty boy, his mother said. You know that jam is not yours. Now wash your hands and go to your room. Jamal went to his room and cried. He lay on his bed and just cried. First he was sad and then he was angry and then he was afraid. Soon Jamal's father came home. He came to Jamal's room. You did a bad thing, his father said. You took something that was not yours. Jamal did not answer. He looked at the floor. There is a name for that, said Jamal's father. Do you know what it is? Jamal gave his head a nod. He still did not speak. Then he began to cry again. I did not mean to steal, he said. I only wanted some jam. I only wanted a little. I would put it back and no one would know. Daddy, I didn't mean to steal. Jamal's father sat down on the bed. He put Jamal on his lap and held him. Never mind, he said. Never mind. Jamal was still crying. Now you and Mommy are mad at me. Grandma will be mad at me too. Then Jamal's eyes got big. Allah will be mad too, he said. Don't worry, said Jamal's father. We can fix that. How? Asked Jamal in a little voice. First you say you are so sorry to the people you hurt. Then you say you are sorry to Allah. Then you never do it again. Jamal liked the idea, but he was still afraid. What if I forget and do it again? He said. I think I have some help for that, said Jamal's father. Who gives us food? He asked. Allah, said Jamal. Who sends the rain to grow the food? Allah, said Jamal again. Who sees us all the time? Who sees all the things we do? Allah, said Jamal in a small voice. He felt bad again. He knew Allah saw him take the jam. If we think about Allah, we will not do bad things, said Jamal's father. If we know He sees us, we will not do bad things. Now, wash your face and come downstairs. I have a gift for you. Jamal washed his face, but he was thinking, why will father give me a gift? He went downstairs. His mother and father were waiting. I'm sorry, Mom, he said. I'm sorry, Dad. Jamal's father smiled and held out the jar of jam. Here, he said, this is a gift for you. Jamal did not take the jam. Take it, said his father. Here is a spoon. This jam will teach you about Allah. Jamal took the jam. Now, said his father, this jam is for you. You can have it for a snack. You can eat as much as you like. There is only one thing, said Jamal's father. You must eat the jam where no one can see you. You can eat as much as you like, but where no one can see. Jamal looked at the jam and looked at his father. Go, his father said. Eat it where no one can see you. Jamal went into the living room. His mother came in and sat down. That was not a good place. His mother would see him eat. Jamal went up to his own room and sat down on the bed. He started to open the jar. Just then Muhammad came into the room. That was not a good place either. Muhammad would see him eat. Jamal went to Fatima's room, but Fatima was there. Jamal went to his mother's room, but now his mother was there. Where do you think Jamal's gonna hide? Let's see. I know, said Jamal. Jamal went into the bathroom and closed the door. Then he sat down on the tub. He started to open the jam. Just then, Jamal heard a bird. He looked out the window. A bird was in the tree. Oh no, said Jamal. The birds can see me eat. Jamal sat and tried to think. I will go downstairs, he said. Jamal went all the way downstairs to the playroom. Now he was alone. No one can see me here, he said. He sat on the floor. Yes, he was alone. Just then, Jamal heard a noise. Meow. It was the cat. Muffins, said Jamal. Why are you here? Meow, said the cat. Now, where can I go? Said Jamal. Then he had an idea. I know where I can go, he said. Jamal went under the stairs and opened a little door. Inside were things they did not use. Jamal went in and shut the door. This was the best place of all. No one could ever see him here. The little room was very dark. Jamal held up the jar. He could not see in the dark. No one can see me eat in the dark, he said. So he opened up the jar. My mom can't see me, my dad can't see me, and even muffins can't see me. No one can see me in the dark. Then Jamal began to think. There is someone who can see me in the dark, he said. He can see me under the stairs. He can see me even when I hide. He can see everything I do. Who do you think that person is? Jamal put the top back on the jar. He knew he could not eat the jam where no one could see him. Allah could see him all the time. Allah is the only one that can see you all the time. Jamal went upstairs and gave the jam to his father. I can't eat the jam, he said. Jamal's father smiled and asked, Why not? There is no place where Allah cannot see me, said Jamal. Jamal's father was very happy. He picked up Jamal and gave him a hug. Now, you have learned a very big thing. It will keep you from being bad, he said. Now, you know that Allah sees everything we do. Yes, said Jamal's mother. I will take you to the store now. We can buy new things to make jam. We will make some jam for Grandma and some jam for us. I can eat the new jam, said Jamal. He was happy now. That will be okay. That jam will be for me, and I can eat it in front of Allah. And that's the end. Now, I have one question to ask you. What is the moral of the story? What is the big message behind this story? Watch the next video in order to know the answer. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.